creates an entirely new paradigm of what's possible, exactly what he just said, the new standard for business. An enabler for other goals. Redefines an entire industry model. The transportation company that owns 1,000 trucks, right? Precisely because they own 1,000 trucks, they are not competitive with the guy who comes and creates an app with no truck. To share my experience and what I'm seeing in the industry. It was not even imagined that it could happen, and then suddenly it shows you that something can happen. Companies with a heritage like IBM, who's been 100 years, and it benefits the consumers by a revolution, not by an evolution. It's focused on the outcome of the experience of the user. The user cares about listening to music, doesn't care less about the long play. We used to love our long plays when we had them. When you find a better way to listen to music, you don't care about the long play. Some people still do, that's another problem. Just to give you some perspective, right? So Fortune 500, we want to be able to innovate fast. So cloud computing is no longer the destination in the conversations that I have and that happen in the technology world. It's just an enabler for other goals. That's cloud computing. We have a very long conversation. That's what I've been doing for the past 12 years. Companies that now came and disrupted business. It's incredible how fast this can happen. 20 years and back, you would worry about your direct competitors. You would analyze them, understand them, have competitive intelligence, and you're in good shape. Transportation company in the world doesn't own a single car. Today, someone out of nowhere comes and destroys your business as your industry. The largest accommodation companies in the world doesn't own a single piece of real estate. Super cool. So you go there and you just pick one of these little scooters from anywhere. So you have the app, they charge you by the minute. You take it whatever you want, and then you drop it off in the street. The private jet experience, like a subscription fee. It's just a subscription model.
Yeah, exactly.
There are so many things that are disrupting the business model because technology is changing. The patterns of consumption of electricity, people charge their cars on that. Guys nowhere in Indonesia, they can come up with a great idea and scale from there. Characteristics of disruptive technology. Improving is iterative. So the iterative innovation is you have something and you make it better. Disruptive doesn't improve it. It just makes it irrelevant. It comes up with a different way. You guys understand that difference? So now a qubit can be a 0 or a 1 or both at the same time. And that creates an exponential capacity of computing to solve very complex problems. For financial services, be able to design model. The subscription model is a new model. Now you subscribe to get access to music or different things. It's a new model. Cloud computing is here to stay. There are many reasons why. It's the new standard for business. An example of a new paradigm is cloud computing. Nobody would have thought before that we would tell you, put all of your data and information, which is kind of the intellectual property of your business, somewhere else. And it came and it transformed. Outcome-oriented, I think, right? Which goes back to the first point, which is, it's not focused on the process, it's not focused on improving whatever the process was, or the product. It's focused on the outcome of the experience of the user. These are some of the characteristics of disruptive technology. Today, cloud computing is an enabler for business to be able to stay competitive, to be able to innovate fast. So cloud computing is no longer the destination. Artificial intelligence and their implications in business. Ethical implications, business implications, all kinds of implications for that, for everything. The impact that it will have in jobs. How do you create new jobs? How do you prepare the new workforce for genetics, for studying the universe, for astronomy and understanding the universe, understanding the stars and the beginning of the universe, and all those huge calculations that we can do today. Quantum computing is today. IBM announced the most powerful supercomputer named whatever seems impossible today is going to be possible because these computers just keep exponentially growing. In a very simplified way, what blockchain does is a distributed ledger, which is a distributed database of information that is shared within the parties involved. The way we all humans have been doing transactions over time, right, is we create any kind of a ledger. A ledger is a place where you register what happened. So if I sell you something, I have my own account that I gave her this, and she gave me $10, and I have it here, and you track that you have 10 of these ones or whatever. Right? We track. And then she goes to her accountant and reports that she bought 10 of these things from me. And then she goes to the government and reports on her taxes. And then she has a business partner that comes and adds value to this thing and then, whatever, repackages it and sells it to someone else. Each of all of those parties has a different ledger. 50% of what we end up paying is the cost of all of that administrative work and not the cost of the goods inside of the container. Think about that. Fantastic opportunity to gain efficiencies using blockchain. Humanity is not going back. We're going forward with more technology. There are going to be challenges, problems. We'll figure it out. Overall, our quality of life is better than that of a king of 1,000 years ago. The invention of the wheel is technology, right? So it's how all of those technologies have improved the quality of our life. That's my personal take. I know there are many implications and things, but overall, technology has helped move humanity forward